Yeah.
Oh, we don't have good kilobits there. Now we do. Oh, it was like little yellow, and now it's little green. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We came in early. I'm glad we did because something wasn't quite right. So, good evening, everybody. Good evening, early. So, Daniel Morrissey's here early.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm here with Buff Del Campo.
Mexican Spec, and who else is here? Let me scroll back.
Welcome to Thursday night. We are in the shop for cleanup crew.
Oh, Tim's here. Braden's here. Mo Parquet. Bruce Colchin.
Mark Sauvé.
Yeah, Mark Sauvé. Okay, now I scroll back down to the...
Daniel Morrissey.
Dean. Oh, Dean's here. 1.5.
Inspector Bruce is here somewhere, too. Did you already say his name?
Nope. Hello, Inspector Bruce. Let's see. Got live chat. Did I miss him? What the heck? Usually he pops in right on the hour. So they may know he's here.
They know he's here.
But he didn't go say anything. And Barracuda's here. I think this is mine. I think this is mine.
If it's the wrong stuff, you could just spit it out.
Spit it out. Yeah. Smells kind of like mine. Mean Street Mopar. Mike N. There's
a whole bunch of people here. We started 5 minutes early because we're already sitting here. It's silly just to sit here and stare at the timer. You don't know?
I don't know what that is. Doesn't taste very... Might have been here for a while. I think I'm gonna...
Stow it away and get a different...
I think I'm gonna get a new water.
There wasn't enough in there to matter.
I'm gonna get a new water. Yeah, this might have been here for some time. Yeah.
That's probably the watered down Gatorade. Put it in the trash.
Water in the trash?
Put it in the trash. Oh, we took the trash out. Was it today or yesterday we took the trash out?
It was yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah, because they're not open today. That's the only reason I can remember.
Mexican Spec says that they stare at the timer. Should we not? I mean, it's up to you. You know? If we were a television program, we would have to sit there and wait. But, most people don't show up exactly on time for to watch the show.
It's little packages of this mix. And I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure.
There was a bunch of people here early. We figured, well, we might as well just...
Yeah, everybody's in, and we're sitting here, and I said, yeah, we're ready, and the clock isn't. Kim says, well, go live. I go, early? She goes, yeah. So I push the button. And then we had yellow frames instead of green frames on. Uh-oh. I think it's okay.
It's fine. We're sending lots of kilobits. In full HD. Island Punch could literally be anything.
Yeah, synthetic powder.
Island Punch.
Oh, yeah, remember those commercials? Yes, you're probably too young for that. Hawaiian Punch. There was a drink called Hawaiian Punch, and he used to punch the guy. I don't think they could do that commercial today.
Mexican Spec says, yeah, but the minutes before you come on is our time to talk about you guys. Well...
Says here.
No.
Make directions. From a full bottle of water, drink a small amount to make room for the pack. Then pour the entire pack in the bottle. Or use a larger glass of water. Shake bottle or mix well until powder dissolves.
That's impressive. It's interesting information to know. Mark Sauvé says, I won something on Andy's Garage YouTube channel, but there were complications. Can't ship a drone to Canada because it has lithium-ion batteries. Darn.
We used back when I was working for the whatever department it is now.
Mexican Spec said something. He said it multiple times, so it must be important. He said, fill it up again. Save water bottles. Didn't you know each fish now has a water bottle condo? We're bringing back the coral reef.
Well, we ran into all kind of trouble sending things with lithium-ion batteries. So we ended up shipping stuff with other kinds of batteries, and of course then they didn't work as well, but we were able to ship the stuff. Oh, he gave you an Amazon gift card. Oh. Does Amazon deliver in Canada? I would think they do.
Yeah.
They deliver everywhere else, I think.
Amazon, Canada has Amazon.
What
Didn't you see that episode of South Park?
I don't know. South Park, yeah, there's a good reference.
Right.
They might call it something else. It's like Harbor Freight up there is Princess Auto.
No. I think they have Amazon.
Maybe they can fly over the border with a drone. Yeah, why don't they just fly it over the border?
I mean, it's a giveaway. What are you going to do? Give them a hard time?
I told you, Inspector Bruce would come in right on the hour.
There he is.
So he was sitting there waiting.
Nailed it for 4 points. All the rest of you, whose names we already just said, you'll all get 3 points. But Inspector Bruce somehow sniped the 10 p.m. timestamp.
I bought the missing piece from my client's running board. A guy knocked on my door just after I looked at the tracking. It was the part 2 days early. I told the guy the tracking says it's not here.
It's not here yet. The tracking will tell you that it is Rural King. Rural King is not the same as Harbor Freight.
Where's Rural King? Oh, Mike N says Rural King. We haven't been to Rural King lately. You know that grocery store we went to over there? I don't remember the name of it. It's right across from Rural King. Same parking lot. But I'm not.
Didn't they change the name of that store?
Yeah, it's a different name. It's a different store now. We haven't been in there yet.
Rural King. I think Rural King is the same as Menards, isn't it?
Oh, I don't think so. Is it?
Well, not the, but I mean it's the same kind of store. Am I wrong? I've never.
Isn't Menards like a? I've never been to Menards. But I thought it was like a Lowe's or like a Home Depot or something.
Oh.
But I don't know.
Okay.
Have you ever been in one? Yeah, Todd. Did I say hi to Todd?
Rural King is a farm and home. Like you can get baby chicks, and you can get parts for your irrigation system or
tractors, spray paint,
seed,
batteries. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff. Coats.
Yeah.
Like farmers kind of coats and.
Like they have a hardware aisle just like at Lowe's, but you can't buy other kinds of hardware.
Yeah, that's one of those stores I go into, Rural King, and it's like I want 1 or 2 of everything. Just pull up with a truck and load it up. But I don't have enough money for that. And then when I get it home, I don't know what to do with it. That's a lot of good stuff. Dean and his Todd saw every time. Todd Roompa. Todd saw.
Mark doesn't have a flip-top head like South Park memes of Canadians. I think he does. I think his whole head pops off.
I've never been to Rural King. Not in my area. It's like Tractor Supply. Yeah, except it's probably about 4 times as big.
They are bigger than the Tractor Supply.
They're huge. And they have guns. I think they have rifles, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They have a firearm section.
And they have tools.
Well, yeah, they have a lot of tools.
And they have stuff like kennels for dogs and stuff. I think they have a big pet section.
Get it yet?
Pendo Red?
Oh, Pendo. I don't know. You put it there one time and I pronounced it right, and then I struggle with it. Menards is a great sponsor in automobile racing. Oh, okay. I used to know a guy that was, I think he's retired now, but he was in charge of their whole their whole computer system. He bought an airplane from us. Flew all over the place. Cool guy.
Inspector Bruce, don't be sniping the points and then being like, I don't care about points. That's just wow. That's just rubbing their nose and stuff. Main Street Mopar says, hello, Buff and Kim.
Hello.
Welcome in, Main Street Mopar. Hope you're doing well this evening. We are in the shop. It is 70 degrees in the shop.
It's warm. Yeah, I walked up here when I came out of the house. I put the sweatshirt on, came out of the house, and it was like, I think it's warmer out here. And yeah, I looked up and it was like 68 degrees outside. But we got all the nasty weather up north of us. And it's like springtime up there north of us where it should be cold. They got thunderstorms and tornadoes and everything up in southern Illinois and across Indiana and into Ohio, I guess. Pendejo.
Pendejo?
I think it's day.
Day would be D-A-Y.
Pendejo.
D.
He's done it again, so I'm supposed to remember this stuff. Pendejo. It makes sense. Why is my phone buzzing?
I don't know, but I left the door to the...
I see somebody's buzzing me that I should probably look at it.
Okay.
So you can watch this.
Watch them.
And I can watch this.
These guys need to stay. I've never been to Rural King's okay. I like Rural King just fine. But we don't really have much reason to go there very often.
That's from Mexican Spec. Mexican Spec texted me. And now I understand what's going on. Okay, so now
English only in the chat.
Now I gotta say, what's the rest of his name? Bread. Bread. Do we have rain in Tennessee? It's just a little tiny bit.
It's raining. It's supposed to rain a lot, actually.
Oh, and then Todd saw a Cheech and Chong movie. It's been, God, that's probably been 50 years since I've seen a Cheech and Chong movie. Oh my God, I'm sitting here trying to worry about how to pronounce that. You got me, man. You got me.
We're saying it over.
Mr. Bread, you got me.
Stupid Americans.
Stupid Americans, yeah. You know, that's something in Russian. I didn't really learn how to cuss. Because in Russian, my teacher that I had was, she lived in Quebec when she was a little girl, and they were immigrants from Russia. So her parents, she spoke Russian until she went to school. Then she learned to speak French. And so people asked her, what about foul language and everything? And she goes, well, I learned from my parents, we didn't speak like that in the house. And so all her Russian was what she knew from home. And then she, because she lived in Quebec, she went to school there, and she had to learn French in school. And then she met her husband, and they went somewhere, I think they went Algeria or something, and she spoke Arabic for a long time, and whatever mission they were on. And then she came to the U.S. and learned English, and she spoke English quite well. It was a fourth language for her. So she was my Russian teacher, but no foul language. Hola, says Luis.
That means hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Welcome in, Luis. Boy, this is not making any heat. It's a good thing it's warm in here.
It's not making any heat?
Nah.
Or is it already warm enough from being warm in here?
It's just warm from being warm all
day. Well, what we got? Some kind of wood that's not quite dry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim's over there nursing the fire, but that's okay. It'll just kind of keep at this temperature. That's all we need. And if it cools off outside, it'll just stay. I think it's supposed to cool off. Oh, you're using the bellows. Did anybody, you hear? Mr. Bread, says the Mexican Spec, I'm sorry for my cruel parents and what they named me. So, if any of you were here last year, Kim made a big pair of bellows out of an old pair of jeans and some wood, and they were like huge, and woof, woof like this, and she can really get the fire going with those things. And now I use them. They're excellent. Homemade bellows. What was that noise? Oh, you're breaking sticks? Oh, okay. Sounded like something cracked.
I gotta keep feeding dry sticks into the center or else it wants to go out. It's just not very dry. It's good enough though.
So let's see. What are we doing tonight?
Well, there's a lot of welding that needs done.
A lot of welding.
Like around the sail panels. It's just little stuff. And there's no, what's the stuff that stinks that would poison?
Oh, poison ivy. Yeah, we don't want to burn poison ivy.
No, that toxic metal.
Oh, that stuff. Oh, not that fire. This fire. Yeah, we got, zinc.
So we need to do some riveting to some stuff so that we don't have to weld on it.
Yep.
The back of the cab.
Yeah, we got to get some. Oh, where's all the epoxy? It's down at the house.
Oh, I was thinking we don't really need. It's not structural.
Well, it is.
The inner parts of the sail panels. They just need some rivets to tie them to until I get the.
I want to look and see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Before I go stick rivets in it.
You'll be fine. Rivets will be fine. It's never even gonna. No one's gonna.
Tim says
on it or do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tim says trying to find a better place than YouTube to get music. I can use out here. I don't know where out here is. Use garage. I don't know. Without getting in trouble.
Why is he getting in trouble?
Inspector Bruce says, I remember watching Kim build those bellows.
Oh, yeah?
So you've been in here.
Cold.
Yeah, we were cold then.
It was tough getting them stuff burning. I made us a nice big pile of firewood so that we could stay warm the next couple of days. We might even still be in here on Saturday, even though it's supposed to be freezing again.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday is supposed to be cold again here, down below freezing at night. But the daytime is supposed to be warmer. But I think we're it'll be March here pretty quickly, and then we'll be done with that.
We'll be sailing. All the nice things.
Yeah, and then Mexican Spec says to Tim, you're not monetized. There are songs that they let pass, but they bought some. Yeah, but then once you get monetized, then you'll have problems.
Yeah, all your old stuff.
All your old stuff won't pay anything. The other thing is that YouTube has that music that you can just pick from their library, and it's supposed to be free, but now they're charging people for it after the fact. Like it's a year ago you used it, so now they're taking money for it, which just,
crooked.
That's crooked. That's right. But they're the big gorilla on the block. I guess you gotta. And Mr. Bread says something about some music there. You ought to try it. Mexican Spec says no one would be looking at the first videos. Hey, I still get comments on some of my very early videos.
Sometimes we still get comments on that very first video.
The very first video, I get comments on it sometimes, so I know somebody's watching it because I see the comments come through.
You know what I was just getting videos from? Putin's Fab Shop from 7 years ago. His very first videos.
Putin? Oh.
Putin.
Oh, he's not the leader of Russia.
Does anybody watch Putin's Fab Shop? I was getting his first couple videos. I was getting those.
Putin's Fab Shop. Yeah, she's getting
7 years ago.
Yeah, like take a look at this. Hey, I had one today that was 5 years old. Something that came up. Then I looked at it and I thought, man, when was this? And it was 5 years ago, and it was suggested for me. So I don't know, that stuff happens. Yeah, my first video, I came up here and did it by myself. Take the camera to something, and I did a thing on the press. Showed how to put a wrist pin in a slant 6 piston because it presses into the rod. And you can either do it with heat and then put it in there, but it starts to cool. You can get it in the wrong place real quick. But you can't press on the piston. You have to support the rod. So I made a tool to do that. And it was a video showing how to do that. See, Todd Sauce says, I pay extra for music library with my editing software subscription, Movavi. When I use it, I get copyright claim. Really? Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, we did one at No Name Nationals. It was
well, yeah, but I knew that was going to be.
Oh, but it was Tanner and Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage just playing guitars and singing like way out of tune and just yelling.
They were way out of tune. That's kind of how that song is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was just outside, just a spontaneous thing. It wasn't like on a stage with good.
Right, it was in no way an exact rendition.
It was just there, and man, Kim put it up, and it was not even a minute. We had a claim on that.
Yeah, well,
that came up so fast I couldn't believe it.
Well, YouTube knows the key, and it transcribes the words, so it immediately would have matched the words to the song. But I don't know. Probably if you change the words, it would still.
Yeah, get the tune or something. I don't know. Les the Sabres here. Good evening. Well, who was it? I can't think of names. Wow. Granddad's Junk's here. E-Fog's here.
Granddad's Junk was showing his greenhouse the other night on his channel. Got some select.
But I don't know what I was gonna say now. I don't know. Can't remember shit.
You can't remember shit.
I was in the middle of this whole thing I was gonna say, and it went away. Oh, and Mexican Spec says we're buffering. Although we have good solid green here, I don't know what's going on. Is anybody else getting any buffering? I'm not seeing it on this end, and usually I see it before you see it.
Maybe we're buffed El Campo.
Buffed El Campo. Maybe it's a Mexican thing. Don't know. Maybe it's here.
Sometimes it is.
But usually I know it immediately here.
Yeah, it tells us.
So I don't know where the buffering is.
We could be buffering at the house.
Mexican Spec says it buffered twice for him. Anybody else see it? I don't know. Of course, if they're buffering, nobody will say anything. They'll just be sitting there beating on their computer.
Are we getting nothing?
Oh, we're all solid green, 10,000 bits.
Hope Arcade got cut off earlier today.
Mexican Spec says always blaming the Mexicans. Well, not really the Mexicans. It's like maybe it's something on that end, not on this end.
Albanians!
The Albanians, yeah. Olive's here. Hello.
Olive!
Bruce Culchin says no buffering here.
There you go. We're doing all right. It's regional. Sorry, Mexican Spec.
Let's see. Yeah, that's it. It's not Mexican. It's regional. Granddad's Junk says, did you check out Kim's glass house? The grapes are delicious.
Oh, I did see. They're right now. Were they green? They looked green. Did they change color, or were they green grapes from the beginning?
And Olive says it may be the ad server that was buffering.
I'll bet you when you have a little bit of what was in that first greenhouse, that the grapes taste even better.
You're still messing with that fire.
I told you it doesn't want to burn.
Man, it doesn't want to burn.
Yeah, when the wood is this green, you really have to. You know how it is when it won't.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes the fire doesn't like to take off. Sometimes it takes off and heats this place up 10 degrees in a matter of minutes. I don't know. Kim is really here, everybody. She's really here. You can hear her over there. They can hear me. They can hear you.
And I was there for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, but there's like half the people weren't here then. They've all came in, you know.
Fine. Not that many new people came in.
Well, yeah. Granddad's Junk says they are Niagara grapes.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Tim says, Vex Inspect, there's a tariff on YouTube now. Well, that's going the wrong direction. You'd have to be exporting it to the U.S. Of course, there was a tariff. There was always a tariff going the other direction, so I guess I'm wrong. Since on to Mexico, there's been a tariff on it for forever. So
Mexico would never do that. We have North American free trade.
well, NAFTA was over in 2020, superseded by the USMCA, which both Canada.
Is that anything like the YMCA?
Not like the YMCA. Canada and Mexico were both in violation of that. So now we all have tariffs. Oh, Mr. Britt says, come on for the information, stay for the mariachi music. Ooh, this thing just did a commercial. It's doing another commercial already. Okay.
We got mariachi music. I don't know about the mariachi.
See, Kim is here.
I'm here.
Hippie Long says, I say we got the corner on grapes. You may. There's, of course, Northern California. Well, over close to you is the Paso Robles area. Huge grapes, vineyards over there. And then up in Northern California, like Napa, Sonoma area, it's huge up there too. I don't know. Do they have vineyards in the Central Valley? I really don't know. Granddad's Junk says, I tried to spin the video around the right way. It just couldn't work it out.
Did you try doing it in a YouTube editor? It's very watchable because it's all like plant.
And John Cope just come in. He says he has a corner on valve bodies. Hey, how's the weather up there? I think all the bad weather is between us and you. I think it's central Indiana and Illinois that really got it. And Wendy's here. Good evening.
John Cope, do you have an off-the-shelf solution for a manual valve body 46RE
What is
transmission?
that? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
He knows what it is.
Okay.
The white truck has a 46RE, and it doesn't shift out of first gear.
Oh.
And I'm wondering how much it would cost me to just put a full manual valve body in it, because it's got an overdrive. I mean, that'd be and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think the mice ate the wiring, and I don't feel like fixing it.
As much as that thing drives, you don't need anything other than first gear. Let's see.
I know.
John Cope says, oh, yeah.
It's probably pretty pricey, though.
So I don't know if it's oh, yeah on the valve body or on the weather.
I think he does. He has one. Oh.
California saved Europe during the last great.
Oh, that's the valve body he runs in Mr. Haney. See, I thought to put...
The first year at No Name Nationals. Oh. Man, I didn't know who anybody was. I just there, and then I met Kim, and I knew John Wilburn. That was about it. And then I start walking around, and I see this red 65, I think, 65 or 66 Ford truck. It's got lights up on the top, like some kind of a service vehicle, and it says Hemi on the tailgate. It's like, what the hell is that? That's John Cope. That's pretty cool. And Robbie's here. Good evening.
That's a sturdy solution for that 360 engine that I have. The full manual valve body for the...
So that's Mr. Haney. It's that truck.
Yes. Check out John Cope Racing Transmissions to learn more about full manual valve bodies for your late model Mopar project. Robbie's here.
I said hi to Robbie, and yes, good evening. Well, good evening, It's evening here.
Wendy's
it's not evening
here,
there.
too.
Yep, Wendy's here. And Tavo just stopped in. And Dean Stevenson says, John Cope, Nanu. Why? Why are you saying that? I don't know. So, Kim, the water was on the, oh, I see it. I'll get it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't expect you to wait on me. I could have gone and got it, but I knew it was on the hood of the car, and then it was gone. So now I see where it is.
Your dear piss water.
Piss.
Dear water.
Deer Park, not a sponsor, just...
They are sponsored. They're sponsoring us with their money.
It was the cheapest water that I could pick up. And I know it seems silly.
Drink Deer Park water. It's the best water in the whole shop.
And it seems silly to... Ah! They made this so nobody can open it.
The idea.
Are you shitting me?
Hey. Can't use bad language.
I need pliers.
Deer Park water is conveniently sealed extra tight so old men can't open it.
So,
old man can't get too hydrated.
Agua, yeah. In Russian, it's voda. Voda. Anyway, it seems kind of silly to buy water, but up here in the shop, if I bring glasses of water, it's going to be all dirty right away. So in the house, I use the same stuff in the house, but I use it just in a glass of water.
We're in the United States. All the water's contaminated.
Well, it's contaminated everywhere.
Industrial and farm and agricultural chemicals.
Let's see. Wendy English says, I want to thank everybody in the chat that helped me get my van fixed about the motor mount.
That's awesome.
Oh, was it us?
Do? Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Whatever the chat did, thank you. See, look. We can do good things together.
Look at this. That's so pretty. The red I picked it up. The red just slowly went down to the bottom, but by the time I put it up on the camera, it was at the bottom.
That sail panel looks pretty damn good.
The sail panel looks really good. That's why I put it in the on the thumbnail. Robbie says, don't you use a water purifier? No. What the hell's a water purifier? That's some kind of machine, isn't it?
It purifies the water.
Well, I guess it would purify water. Yeah, I don't know. No, the water that comes out of the tap here is pretty good. It's just once it comes up to the shop, then it's got like grindings and dirt, and yeah. I guess I could find a way to do that. Inspector Bruce, I had a mariachi band at my wedding reception. It was in East LA. Really? I had a really good friend that was in East LA. He's from East LA when I was at Travis Air Force Base. I went down there with him a couple of times, but I think he passed away already.
Born in East LA, I was born in East LA.
Let's see. Oh, here. I just saw something else. What was it? Tim says, I just finished a case of water I keep in my truck. Got it in Sikeston, Arkansas water. In Sikeston's in Missouri, but it's real close to Arkansas. What else did I say? Oh, Dean Stevenson, because if it's John, he'll cope with Mork from Orchisms instead of Orgasms.
John, I saw your.
What is the red liquid in the bottle? Okay, I got to dig it out of the trash. Just a minute. Well, I held it up earlier, but
all right. Well, don't take over the whole thing. John, I saw your advertisement.
What do you mean don't take over the whole thing? It's my
On
screen.
Facebook that John is now selling complete built John Cope Racing transmissions again.
It's this little packet. You just get some powder and you dump it in there and it flavors the water. I kind of like those things. And they're cheap. Get a whole box full of them for $1.25.
Tobo was singing the Born in East LA thing too. Hey man, I was born in East LA.
Where is that? Who's doing that?
Tavo.
See.
Let's see if this is on there. It is.
Oh, I see.
Oh, but the brightness is all wrong.
The brightness is all wrong. Don't make us look like we're too bright.
Too gained.
What's Dean saying about strontium 90? It's in the water streams.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They would never contaminate our water with industrial chemicals and radioactive waste.
Wind English.
And the Chinese would definitely not.
Wind English says, I got to do laundry and pack my lunch and put food away from dinner.
I understand. Why are you not on camera?
I don't know. You switched. I got to change the camera. I'm sorry, everybody. Kim swapped something around, and I gotta go up there and actually manually turn the camera on. Barracuda says, trash sounds trashy, being refined. I call it rubbish. Oh, that's like, that's something down under? Yeah, that's how England was. It was rubbish. It wasn't trash, it was rubbish. I'm trying to get in the spot. Robbie says, Kim, did you play basketball in high school?
College.
College. You played in college?
Yes.
You played baseball too, didn't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you played baseball.
No. I've never played basketball or squat. I'm terrible at that.
Or on football, I guess you did for a little bit or something.
I did play football some.
What sports did you play growing up? What sports did I play? And mostly I just had jobs. I didn't have time for sports. I get off school and I go straight to work. And I worked in a gas station back when I call it petrol, where the employee had to put the gas in the car and wipe the windows and check the oil and do all that stuff. So I did all that, and then I worked in a nursery where it was a 1 acre greenhouse, and I picked weeds, unwanted weeds. And when I got done, I had to go back to the beginning, and by then there were weeds on the other side of it. It was a continuous job. But I figured out I didn't want to do that. And then I worked in a wheel alignment shop and a radiator shop. The same guy owned both. And that's what I did all the way through high school. Oh, also, when I was younger than that, before high school, I worked in a bicycle shop. And I delivered newspapers. I don't know. I was pretty much busy with that stuff instead of sports. I used to be able to run pretty fast. Coach always wanted me to go out for cross country, which is like long distance running, and I just didn't have time for it.
I did too much.
Let's see. Spread says, Buff, did you ever watch a rooster fight? That would be something that's not legal in this country. They take people to jail for that.
Do they?
Yeah, they're called cockfights, and
is it the fighting that's illegal, or is it the gambling that's illegal?
Well, they put razor blades on them, so they cut the shit out of each other, and it's illegal as hell.
That is pretty nasty.
Back when I was in school, when I still wanted to be a police officer, I got that. I don't want to do that anymore. I know that was a big deal with the sheriff's office out in California. Is they'd stop somebody and they have fighting cocks in the trunk, and that was an arrestable offense.
Wait, entiendo lo bonito es alta como Kim.
Okay,
Alta
Mexican
como.
spec. You need to.
I don't know what alta como means. Somebody tell me what that part means.
Robbie says, I like the part-time job gigs that you get to do there in the U.S. Yeah, there's a lot of it. And there's some that people would rather work full time and know I can get it part time, and that way the employer doesn't have to pay so many benefits. And typical for that is grocery stores, because people work in grocery stores something less than about 30 hours a week, and then they don't get any benefits like health insurance and that kind of stuff. So there's good and bad to it. When you're young and you're in school, it's really good. If you're trying to make a living as an adult, it's a little bit tougher. But you can usually find full-time work. I never had trouble finding full-time work. We says, yep, I was a kid. I want a race driver back in the 2000s. Yeah, see, when I was a little kid, that's what I want to do. It's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm gonna drive NASCAR. That was my job when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I watched NASCAR. That was 1961, 1962. Can you imagine this NASCAR with like 61 Pontiacs and stuff? Man, that's all I want to do is drive NASCAR. Yeah, and later I want to be a fireman, later a cop, and then I want to drive an ambulance. You know, all the stuff kids want to do. And then I used to watch people. They buy TVs and they put a TV antenna up on the roofs. I'd watch a couple of guys up there putting up a TV antenna. As a little kid, you know, I was like, that's a job I want. I want to put up TV antennas. Oh, man. Then I got older and I worked on cars. And then I worked on airplanes. Thanks to the Air Force, I worked on airplanes. See, Bunny is not
trying to encourage me to learn more Spanish.
Well, Bunny is not as tall as Kim. That's what that
I'm
meant.
not that tall. I'm not even 6 foot tall.
Spanglish.
I just tower over Buck Del Campo.
Mr. Britt says it's popular in Chula Vista if you know the right people. Yeah, it's, I don't know, just not something I want to get involved in or watch or anything, really. Although, if I went to Mexico, I might go to a bullfight just to do it, but I don't know.
I think in some places they don't do the bullfighting anymore because
don't they,
for the same reason.
Do they, in Tijuana, maybe Mexican Spec knows, do they still do bullfights in Mexico? Let's see. Tim, the other night I clicked on a truck video. It was a video of a house cat fighting a rooster in a ring with everyone yelling and betting. Sorry, but I reported that one. Geez, I don't know. I probably had more than one report. Let's see here. Very cool. All of Fred Dagg's sons were Trevor. That is. Mexican Spec says, I did drive an ambulance. Mine. Oh, yeah. He'd buy old ambulances and hearses. Mr. Red, when I grew up, I wanted to be in a mariachi band on YouTube. Mexican Spec says to Mr. Brett, you must be very young.
Yeah, for him.
Mr. Brett says bullfighting is cruel as hell. Yeah, but I was just curious if it's a sport in still a sport in Mexico, or did they stop doing that? Actually, if I went to Mexico, I probably wouldn't go to that. I'd be doing if I went to Mexico, I'd be doing something with Mexican Spec. We'd go and look at cars we'd probably be doing something like that. Because usually when I went to Mexico, I'd just go over the border. I'd be in a border town buying medication because it was easy to get and cheaper and less hassle. Or going to eat there. Yeah, something like that. Sit around, have Mexican food in Mexico, and then come right back across the border. But if I went down into Mexico, I'd go down there and see Mexican Spec. Okay, and then Mexican Spec says, I thought you asked about cockfighting bulls. I don't know. Yeah, I was looking at the border because I watched a guy that was on the border right there at Tijuana on the beach, and so I looked on the satellite view on Google Earth or Google Maps, whatever it is, and right there, real close to the border, I saw a bullfighting ring, and I thought, wow, they're still doing that. I don't know. So I don't know about that. I remember when I was a kid, I lived in California. It was a big deal. People go to Mexico, and They'd always go to a bullfight. So is that you say bullfighting, or was it?
You know what was
That it's
cool?
oh that it's cruel. Yeah, is it cruel to the bull or to the matador?
Well, I think they killed the bull at the end.
They do kill the bull at the end.
You know what was cool was when I was younger, not when I was a kid, but when I was younger, the Mexican circus would come.
Oh.
And it was like one of those small traveling circus.
Okay.
And they would have the trapeze act, and they would have the woman that did the rings. So, and they would bring in a big metal ball, and they would ride the motorcycles in the metal ball.
Oh, inside the ball. That? Yep, I've seen it inside like a tube that you go up inside the tube.
The Mexican circus kicked butt.
So I don't know if you could hear her talking about that. The Mexican circus would come to Pittsburgh, and they'd ride a motorcycle like inside a ball. And she said it was a great circus.
That was cool. That was a good thing. No, nothing got killed. There was nothing controversial about the Mexican circus. Just kicked butt. But it was small. It wasn't at like the big civic center or anything like that. It was like at a park. Like they put up like a big, like a big top tent, like the old timey circus almost.
Daniel Morrissey says, Kim, Buff, you both have to do another wood run for the stove. We've got quite a bit of wood right now, but it's starting to warm up, so we may.
The mill was picked over, and then it was snowy, and it would have been a mess.
Yeah, but then there's that pile up there that people dump wood. Yeah, we may get another pile or two from there.
Oh yeah, but that wood is very green.
Robbie says, have you ever watched the motorcycle riders in the Well of Death? Is that the one where they go around inside a tube? They ride around like this? If that's what you're talking about, I think that's what Kim was talking about at the circus. Yeah, and I've seen that kind of stuff. Mexican Spec says, I don't know what happened to the animals they used to have. I bet nothing good.
What? The circus animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not allowed to have a bunch of animals anymore.
Mr. Brett says, circuses are not a thing anymore. I think most went out of business. They were considered cruel in all sorts of ways. Yeah, I don't know. The circus that I used to go to when I was a kid, they had elephants they rode around, but they didn't really do much. They just rode around in circles. And most of the stuff I saw were people walking on high wires, with balancing and jumping at trapeze and all that kind of stuff. I didn't see much of the animals.
Yeah, last I saw of the circus, it was all just people doing things. There was no animals in the Mexican circus. Or maybe there was a woman who did like tricks on a horse, but I don't know. Maybe not the most recent. That's been like 10 years.
The Grad Ash Young says the Adelaide Zoo is really cool. I went to a zoo. It was in New Orleans, and it was pretty good because you get down. The animals all had run of the place, although some of them were kind of cordoned off so they couldn't bid in or mingle in some places. But mostly they just were all over the place, and we walked around paths. There were places we went underground, and you could pop up into where the animals were. There's like a plexiglass or something, domes. You get up in there, and then you're like at ground level looking at the animals. It's like you were their guests. It was pretty good. Tim says up in whatever that is, Kittening, we had small carnivals and small circuses come to town, mostly two-headed snakes and two-headed cows. Really? Country circus. Yeah, I never went to anything like that. San Diego Zoo is pretty good. There's a black mamba snake that looks like a fan belt. He's deadly too. Okay. I've never been to San Diego Zoo. Been to San Diego a lot, but never been to the zoo.
What were you doing in San Diego?
I don't know. I used to go to San Diego sometimes. Well, you know, Yuma isn't very far from San Diego, so we'd go over there. Go to the beach or go to, I don't know, restaurants along the beach. Oh, they had a hell of a museum over there with they had a Russian sub that's now gone, submarines and the an aircraft carrier, the Midway. Man, I thought that was a jet engine running. That's you blowing on the fire?
No, that's a jet engine.
No, that's a jet engine running. What the hell? That's close. I bet I can figure out what that is. I'm gonna look. I bet that's a C-17. Oh, do I have a way to do that? Let's see. I don't know if I have a way to do that.
Are you going to interrupt the stream to look at the airplane thing?
I am gonna interrupt.
Are you going to let them see it too?
I don't know. I'm good.
Oh, you got it up quick.
I got it up quick. It is a. It is a 737. It's a Southwest 737 that's descending into Nashville, but they've already descended quite low. That's weird. Okay.
They might be flying around weather.
Yeah, because of weather, they might have been. Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know. What the hell do I know? I don't know nothing about it. Why would I even guess?
I don't know. That's probably a pretty good guess. Fred says, I bet it's a JT-88. Olive says, oh, the Russian subs by the Queen Mary in L.A. now? No. The Russian sub was scrapped. It was taken to Mexico, and they scrapped it in Mexico. And I was lucky. I got to get on that thing twice and walk around. And Pit Snipe's here.
Hey, Pit!
He says, I had to kick the rear sliding window out of the 93 Dakota after replacing the fuel pump for the second time in 6 months. I'm feeling a certain level of bad shit tonight. Fred says, at Long Beach. Oh, the Russian sub? The Russian sub was at in San Diego. There's a museum that's right along the waterfront there. That's all ships. It's all on board ships. And there was a Russian submarine there, old Soviet submarine. But that got towed away and they scrapped it. But the everything else is still there. And the Midway, it's an aircraft carrier, and that is a really cool thing to go on. And they have airplanes up there, and they have the deck where they do all the maintenance. They have people in there that work in the Navy and pilots. They'll talk to you about flying the airplanes that are there. It's a pretty nice thing. That's nice. It says the USS Kearsarge LHD-3, my first apartment, became the first amphibious ship to get certified to fly the F-35 this week. Really? Mike N says, what type of Russian sub? I don't remember. It was built in 1972 or 1973. I mean, you can do a search on Google for Russian sub on display in San Diego, and there's all kinds of stuff written about it. But yeah, it's sad to see it go. You know, Tavo, rarely have planes fly over here, so when they do, I look up flight radar. Yep, 2 larger gray ones flew over yesterday. Didn't show on the site. Turns out some Air Force planes don't ping. Yeah, well, they don't. That happens here too. Because sometimes I see something go over, and it's like, what? And then other times, I don't know why, but C-17 seem to go over here quite often, and they're not. You know, you'd think they'd be up pretty high, but they're not. So I hear them. Tim says, we have a helicopter and jets flying over us a lot since first of the year from Fort Carson Army and the Air Force Base, doing some kind of maneuvers for something big. Yeah, well, out here we have, not too far from us is Fort Campbell, which is an Army installation, but they do a lot of flying out there. They have the 101st Airborne, so, they're flying out there. Mike N says, I was thinking about Russian dressing. Probably a long, round black sub. It was. It was black. It was kind of cool to go through it, though. Hey, Steve Edwards. They're building the Enterprise right now. Hey, Steve, did you look at the email I sent you with a tracking number? I think you're supposed to receive that on Monday, I think. Is that what it was, Kim, on Monday?
That's what it said on the thing.
Yeah, I sent you stuff. Daniel Morrissey says, Scorpion, Russian sub, not on display anymore. Yeah, they scrapped it. They went to Mexico.
I'll bet you the Mexican cartel's using it to move drugs.
I don't think that thing's usable anymore. It was an old diesel sub that had some modifications done to it. It was in pretty nasty shape. And I'm used to looking at like American stuff, the quality. That Russian sub was pretty crude welding on that thing. Louis says, well, I am watching a movie tonight, Talladega Nights, 20th anniversary. It says, still maybe, Grand Dog. Lots of family drama happening here lately. No worries. Just lots of distractions. Steve Edwards says, yes, okay, good. Monday. Okay, so you're tracking it. I didn't look today. I should have looked to see where it was.
You don't have to look every day. Let the man be.
Kim, if I look at the tracking, I want to look at the tracking. That's not bothering Steve Edwards. I just want to make sure that he got the email I sent. Because I forget to check my email sometimes.
You're fine. He likes to follow tracking.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Me, I just wait. If it doesn't show up, then I check.
Mike N says it was a Foxtrot class
Did
diesel.
you see there was a package for you today?
No, Kim. Where is it sitting there or what?
I don't know how you didn't step on it. It came out the back door.
I guess I missed it.
It's on the porch. It's not going to get wet or nothing.
Okay. Where was I? Foxtrot class diesel electric attack sub, says Mike N. Yeah, when was that? It was built in 73, I think. I think is when it was completed. 1973. Mike N says 2005 to 22. That's when it was there. Dean Stevenson says that Soviet sub had been lowered. I know they did something silly with the periscope. They moved the periscope or something. Pitch Night says, Buff, you're looking good, brother. It makes me happy. I'm looking good? Whatever. D-Man, how you doing? What's cooking, Buff? Tell Kim I said hello.
Hey, D-Man.
She's over there. She can hear, but she's over by the fire, screwing with the fire.
I'm trying to get it burning. It's just smoldering so bad.
It's smoldering. I can smell the smoke over here. Is there smoke escaping that into the building?
When you blow on it, sometimes it puffs out. But there's none,
It's not a roaring fire.
No, it's barely coming off this.
And then Dean Stevenson says, Buffalo Campo just imagines being a plane. I don't know. Every once in a while, I kind of miss it, but I don't really want to be flying. Steve Edwards says it left Nashville. It's en route. Okay, well, good. Here's what happened. Kim dropped it off at the post office, and the next day I looked at it, and it said it was in their system. So I thought, it didn't even leave the post office yet. It's a whole day later. So, good. It went to Nashville and left Nashville. I told her to send it the slowest way possible that we would get a tracking number. That way it's cheap. It still
Well,
wasn't
it would
cheap.
have been like $15 more for it to be the faster shipping.
Yeah, $15 more to make it take what, a less day. Oh, to get there on Sunday instead, and then they'd have to deliver it Monday, which is the same day.
Exactly.
After you finish the bed on your Valiant, this is Tim. How do you think it would look if you put that Studebaker front end on it? Well, I hope to put the Studebaker front end on the Studebaker that's out here, right out there on the other side of this wall, and that's another project. But I think we want to do the aluminum car first. I hope. Okay, where are we? Robbie says, I'm cooking scrambled eggs with toast.
Nice.
Kim, what am I going to cook next? I know there's stuff I want to cook. Oh, we went to the store and I bought more liver. I bought more slices of liver. So I'm going to do liver again here pretty soon. It's in the freezer, so don't have to do it right away. Pitt says, I'm invading North Korea tomorrow. I decided. What are you going to do? You're going to go in there and get our ship back? See, the U.S. lost a ship to North Korea in 1968, the Pueblo. And the Pueblo is still there, and they display it to the whole world how they have a ship, and it's still in the U.S. inventory. I think we should go get it.
Don't tempt them.
Mexican Spec says,
Start another war.
Mercado Libre delivers packages on Sunday here. You know who delivers packages here on Sunday is Amazon.
Sunday? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they delivered packages many times on Sunday. It just surprises me.
I don't think they did. I forget if it's Monday or Tuesday they don't deliver. There's one day a week that they don't.
See,
They don't say they don't, but they don't come to this part.
Very clear. It says, in the early 70s, I was in the Cubs, pre-scouts, okay, Cubs, and one Saturday we went down to the Dunedin Wharf and got on board a visiting Australian submarine. Oh, that must have been interesting. When I was a kid, same thing. We went to Avila Beach in California, got on some ship, the Navy ship that had docked out there, and they had boats that would take you out there and take you on a tour through it. I was a little kid, went through it. It was pretty interesting. Luis says, I do Amazon. So they have Amazon in Venezuela. D-Man says, Speedpack delivers on Sundays here, Buff. Speedpack? I don't even know what Speedpack is. Kim, what's Speedpack? Robbie, Amazon and Flipkart also deliver here on Sundays. I don't know what Flipkart is. Something in India. Man, I drank my whole drink already. Louis says, I think it's very hard to find some Amazon stuff like Hot Wheels, VHS, DVD, and more. Can you still get VHS? And I might have a few old VHS tapes around, but they're ones that my father videoed stuff when I was a kid, and he did it on film, and then he put it on VHS for me. But man, I don't know where that is. I don't even know.
It's in those bins.
I don't even know if it's any good anymore.
Well, that's
yeah. Old tapes get like a little some kind of something growing on them, and then they don't work. Next inspect, I never made it out of Cub Scouts. The next step up is Weeblos, and then Boy Scouts. My great uncle was a high-ranking man in the Scout organization. Yeah, I made it up. I didn't go to Weeblos. I got through Cub Scouts and just didn't do the Weeblos thing. And I don't know. By then I was doing other things. Next inspect says Amazon is everywhere. Pitt says Aussies got me wrecked on their pier in Naples. Didn't even make it into town. Spent the whole night talking trash and wrestling on asphalt. The best of times. Tawo says, Amazon here, if you pay extra for expedited delivery, usually arrives in 2 weeks. Oh, man, not here. You order something, you don't pay any extra for anything. It's here the next day.
Well,
and if you're in a big,
your membership,
if you're in a big city, it's there the same day. It's amazing.
But not everything, but a lot of things.
A lot of things. Yeah, once in a while I'll have something that they don't have, and it's, well, it takes a little longer. But mostly it's the next day. Robbie says Flipkart is the biggest e-commerce company in India next to Amazon. Okay, yeah, it's something we don't have here. Never heard of it till tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know it was an e-commerce.
Mexican Spec says, you were 20 years old when VHS came out, Buff. Oh, I could have been. Because my father recorded all that stuff when we were kids on Super 8. You know what Super 8 is? It's film. It's 8mm film. And then he converted it to VHS and gave it to me sometime way later. I don't know when he had it converted, but then I got it. And D-Man says, I remember Beta stuff. My father bought Betamax. And then, of course, everything went VHS. So later he bought VHS. But his first video recorder was Betamax, Sony Betamax. Dean Stevenson, if you joined ATC, you could go to the submarines as well. Get used as laborer, loadmaster's assistant. My old boss, Pete, and current workmate are ex-air training cadets. Oh, that's what ATC is, air training cadets. Carlos says, only one day of that journey is from Adelaide to here. Yeah, you're out there a ways, Talo. And I could probably point to Australia and just about hit where you are because I know where it is. Because I looked at, when you told me where it was, I looked, that little town out there. I can't think of the name of the town right now. I know there's two main highways that go through there. It's kind of weird. One highway is north-south and the other one's east-west. But the east-west one comes along, and then it goes north a little bit, goes along, and they have a rest area right where the two highways come together. I thought that was pretty slick. So you'll know what I'm talking about. I remember looking at that. I think things like that are just really interesting. So whoever worked that road out did a good job. Lester Saber, I remember as a Cub Scout, we used to joke about the name Weeblos. I don't remember that. See, Daniel Morrissey. I went from Weeblos to Police Explorer program, part of Boy Scouts. Yeah, I knew guys that did that Police Explorer thing. G-Man says, Feedpack is a specialized Orange Connex managed cross-border shipping service designed for eBay sellers in China, offering track delivery to over 50 countries. Launched in 2018. Next Inspec says, we had the Super 8 film. You could run it backwards. That was funny. Stop, become pots. Robbie, we have 10 minutes. Oh, that's all scrolled by so fast. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up because I didn't want to miss that. Robbie says, we have 10 minutes delivery at the doorstep for food, groceries, and electronics and essentials here in India. Really? Do you pay for that? Or is it?
Yeah, they got to pay.
You pay extra for the delivery? Or I don't know. Like, Next Inspec says, I didn't know that was an option. We were Pack 213. We lived in area code 213. Coincidence? I was in Pack 7, San Luis Obispo. Pack 7.
It wasn't a coincidence. That's how they did those things.
Oh, I'm trying to. This is scrolling by kind of fast. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of the chat. T-Man, the packages can be delivered to stores also where you put the code. Oh yeah, they have a place up here where there's you can go. You can have the stuff delivered up there, but they deliver right to the house here. You're out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm pretty happy with that. Hey, Blue Grits here.
I mean, we're not in the middle of nowhere, but we're pretty far away considering we get next day and.
Yeah, we're not in the city at all. We're not in the city at all. Blue Grit Garage is here. I remember some friends getting kicked out of Boy Scouts for stealing and drinking Scoutmaster's beer during summer camp. Holy crap. Has 45 is here. Bonjour. Sounds like French. Uh, Daniel Morrissey says, I think my pack was pack 56. Ours is pack 7. I don't know what den I was in. It's like den 6, pack 7 or something like that. Yeah. I remember our scoutmaster was a dentist. Of course, he passed away long ago now, but he was Dr. Quist. I remember that now. Dr. Quist. Robbie says, no extra charges. Well, that's pretty good. Pitt, I got kicked out of. I'm not going to read that. That's like, I almost read that, Pitt. See, Daniel Morrissey, when Los Angeles grew, they changed us to 818 area code. At that point, my grandmother would ring once. We called back to pay the long distance charges. Jewish people. No, everybody does that, man. It's not Jewish people. Everybody does that. Man, I remember the long distance. Man, nobody knows even what long distance is anymore. You just get on your phone and call anywhere all over the world. Well, I used to. I can't call all over the world now unless I use like WhatsApp or something, because then I could talk all over the world. But I guess it's still free. But I used to have the international on my Verizon. It was $5 a month, so I could talk all over the world. But I was trying to trim down all my bills, and that was one of the things I let go from my phone. But it doesn't matter. I get on WhatsApp. I can call all over the place. Yeah, what sort of brownie? See, Barracuda. The brownies is kind of like the girls' version of Cub Scouts, and they were young girls. Look at no Mexes. It has, what is this? It is the ones that don't drink that you have to. Oh, the ones that don't drink. Let's see here. Mexican Strike says, don't ask. That will get us kicked off the internet. It went brownies, then Girl Scouts. See, brownies and Girl Scouts, weren't they like two different organizations? Because I remember there were brownies and there were Girl Scouts. And I didn't think they were the same thing. But I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Team Stevenson's, love that ad. Mexican Spec. Hasbro owned brand Play School, but originally Milton Bradley. Huh. Yeah, Pitt says, LOL, Buff. That's bait. Almost got you. Yeah, you almost got me. Yeah, Josh Holman, long distance used to cost arm and a leg back then. Yeah, me calling the Soviet Union at what it was, $2.71 a minute. Now it's free. Well, I didn't know. I guess you can still call Russia. I don't know. I don't know what all. Start talking to you AI people. Idiots are getting ahead of you. You don't. Yeah. Tim says we had to call the operator who logged us this call. We had a party line in the 50s, 6 houses on one line. We had 2 houses on one line, and I remember that well. You picked up the phone, somebody's talking, you're supposed to hang it back up. Man, we got our ass beat if we were listening. Not real bad, but I mean, that was a bad violation in our house. You pick up the phone. Well, first we had to ask to use the phone, and then you pick the phone up, and if you heard somebody, you're supposed to hang it right up because it's somebody on the party line. But long distance, I remember calling. We lived in California. My grandparents lived in Florida, or as they said, Florida. Like they put an R on the end of it. But they used to call the operator and then tell them their name and what city they lived in, and then the operator somehow would figure out how to call it. But you give them their name and the city, and they hook you up somehow. And it was expensive. I remember my mother standing over us going, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up." Been on there for 3 minutes. Well, the thing with long distance was the first 3 minutes was the basic charge, and then minutes after that they start adding to it. Oh yeah, Mexican Spec. That's right. They were Indian guides. I remember Indian guides. Wow, yeah, I remember that. Steve Edwards. Hulk Hogan wants his mustache back. Hulk Hogan's gone. Uh, didn't he have? He had Steve Edwards. He Hulk Hogan had the like dark. You know, he dyed some of his hair dark, and then his mustache was light, and it was like a whole thing of different color. He's a big dude. He was like what 7.7 foot 3 or something. He's man, he's a big guy. Tim says, "You remember 411? What was 411?" Well, 911 is emergency. Was 411? What was the one that was for repair? Was that 411? Not many long distance relationships back then. It says Mexican Spec. Yeah, it wasn't long before if you didn't make so many calls, you could just fly there. See, my Mark Silvey says my grandparents were in a rural area. You'll be able to call the other people in the same area by simply dialing the last 5 numbers. Yeah, you know, the same thing where I lived in California, it was 7 numbers, but you call, there's a large area where you can call just with 7 numbers. And then I bought an old house up in Ohio that wasn't too far from Cleveland, and somebody had covered the walls with some kind of just crap, and we were going to do it with drywall and do it nice. We pulled it off. We pulled all that stuff off. There was no insulation in there, but we could see the wood on the outside. So it was originally just a cottage, and that was the inside of the home was the outside. So the inside of the outside paneling, and there were phone numbers written all over on the wall, and they were all 4-digit phone numbers from Cleveland. They had like the plumber and all. They had all these numbers written on the inside of the wall, all 4-digit numbers. It says in my first appointment, we had the first sea to shore lines, but you had to have card. My mom would go to 7-Eleven and get the cheapest 7 cents a minute cards to send me. Careful. Oh, I remember those cards. I need 4. 911 was an emergency back then. 411 was information. 411 was information. It could have been. What was the one for repair? 211? I don't remember. Yeah, Mark Silvey says 411 is getting a phone number if you had to get enough information to get some phone number. Yeah, that could have been 411. Any of those numbers that were 11 was something with the phone company. There's one that's repair though. 811 or 611 or 211. Gee, I don't remember now. Pitt says 411 was the 80s version of Google search. It's pretty lame compared to Google search. And Pitt says 711 was repair. Could have been. I don't remember. I know it's some 11. You call up I guess it was 711, and you'd report problems with the phone. I remember the phone belonged to the phone company. You paid like $1 a month or something to rent the thing, besides the phone line, and then and all of a sudden they deregulated it, and you could buy your own phone. That was really cool, and all these phones became available. They had all kinds of stuff on it, answering machines, and which was really new then. Had a little recorder, and a little tape, but that was all new stuff then. Mexican Spec says 911 became the national emergency number in the U.S. on February 16th of '68, but we were not taught that in school, really. Mexican Spec says 900 numbers. I thought about putting a 900 number in my radiator shop. I had an 800 number for a while. That's back when there was long distance. But the 800 number, then I had to pay. It reversed the charges. I had to pay the long distance. But I got a lot of sales that way. But people would want to talk, like get a lot of information and talk about cooling systems and what, explain their problems to me and all this kind of stuff. And I thought about putting a 900 number in. That would be like $1 a minute or something. Then I'd be making money on the call instead of paying for it. But I never did it. Very good. I'm gonna lose it. It's going away. But I remember a joke. Our club leader told us something about a not too bright kid that got pooped on by a bird, and someone said, "Get some toilet paper," and the kid replied with, "Where is it? For what? That bird will be miles away by now." D-Man, the 900 Del Campo hotline. Call now. Yeah, I, most of those 900 numbers were for
Racy.
yeah, they were racy stuff. But if I could have made $1 a minute on a call instead of paying whatever the long distance rate was, first of all, it would have shortened it would have shortened the tech calls down a bit, but I would have gladly done them. I was pretty busy with building radiators. Josh Holman, they thought about making it 999 like in Britain, but made it 911 instead to make it harder to misdial. Man, I had a girlfriend. I was in California. She was in Arizona. I'd call her once in a while. I went down there a lot too, but her phone number was whatever the beginning of it was, and it was 9111. So I picked up the phone and called around calling it, and somebody picked up the phone on the other, like my extension in another room, heard me, and then hung back up. So all it took was the 911. And man, all of a sudden I got the police on the phone. I'm like, I couldn't even figure out what happened at first. But what happened was the phone only picked up the 911 part of the last part of her number was 9111. That was really crazy. Wendy English is back. Hello. Talos says, dial 0. Hello, operator, highway patrol, please. Yep, exactly the same thing. Oh, Mexican Spec says on a rotary phone, it took a while to dial 911. Oh, yeah, rotary phones. I was watching a video. They had some kids, young kids, teenagers, showing a rotary phone, and they couldn't figure out how to use it. They're pushing in the holes. Didn't know how to use it. Josh Holman, oh yes, I remember those old rotary phones. I remember my first business was I started in, Tavo says 000 down here. Okay. God, Pitt says I called the White House from Adriatic Sea to bitch about the Bosnian bullshit we were deployed for. That came back hard on me. That came back on me hard. Really? You really did that? I never tried calling the White House. There was a number you used to be able to call, though, and it was an 800 number, and you call, and it was meant for reporters and people in the news media to call, and it gave like a rundown of what the president's schedule was for that day. I used to call that once in a while and listen to it just to do it, but it was really meant for media people. So let's see. I was going to say something a minute ago, and now I forgot what it was. Of course. Man, that whole Bosnia thing, you were in then? I remember that. Yeah, Mexican spec says, didn't anybody tell you not to volunteer for anything? You know what I learned in the military? You could get some good duty volunteering. They always told you that stuff, but that was, I don't know. I think that was a bunch of BS. Anytime I volunteered for anything, I got good duty. I used to go put my name on stuff. I'd see like a trip to go work in they'd need some people to work in at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii. Man, my name was on that so fast. And I got to go numerous times. Go spend a couple of weeks in Hawaii on the Air Force. Yeah, that was a pretty good deal. Pitt 13B rotary. 12A or 13B rotary phones. I rebuilt a lot of those engines. Mostly 12As, but a few 13Bs. Kim's being awful quiet back there. Don't see the welder being used. She was back there working on the fire, trying to keep the fire going.
No dice.
No dice. It's going out.
As soon as you stop blowing on it, just.
Josh Owen, I think it was 856-1414, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure if it was an 800 number or the DC area code. Oh, the number I was talking about. The number I was talking about was it was an 800 number. Pitt, Captain Scott O'Grady. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. USS Gear Sergeant, the 23rd MEU, went and got him. Clinton said the Today Show came on board behind enemy lines. It was a movie. It was a long time ago, but it's a good read. Captain Scott O'Grady wrote a book about he punched out of an F-16 during that Bosnian War, and he ended up on the ground. And he was there for a while, but he got picked up by the Marine Corps, and they did a really good job. But that book, I got that book. My parents sent it to me. I was in Ohio, and my parents sent it to me for Christmas. Right, it was just came out, and man, Christmas Day I read that book cover to cover. I couldn't put it down. What a great book. Very good. I've exhausted my knowledge on rotaries already. Well, I remember when I remember what I was going to say earlier. I got my first business, and rotary phones. It's when the phone company still owned the phones, but it cost $1 a month extra for a push button phone, and I got a push button phone. My mother was so upset with me. She goes, "I guess if you think you can afford it, it's like $1, And I was, all my orders were, I had to call. Well, a rotary phone is like spend too much time with it, on a push button. And now, of course, we don't even do that. You just call.
They
call the person.
That $1.
Huh?
They still charge that $1.
They still charge that $1 for a push button phone?
They do.
You can't even get a rotary phone.
It's like a tax that never goes away.
Who was it? One of the presidents of the last 20 years or so finally made sure that we got rid of there was a tax on our phone bill for what, the Mexican-American War or the Spanish-American War or something. And it's been there ever since the war, like over 100 years ago. And they finally took that tax off our phone. I just, you know, you let politicians have a tax, and they're not going to get rid of it.
They'll spend the money into perpetuity.
They'll spend the money before they have it. You got to keep it there. What's this? Granddad shot the military, wouldn't let me in, probably for the best. I got into enough trouble with IEDs. I hope not. God, my son got hit by an IED in, oh, it's a terrible story. My son got hit by an IED in Iraq, but they all got out of it. They were all okay. It destroyed the vehicle, but they were all okay. But I was up there buying food at the local food store last week, and a woman saw my hat, my Air Force hat. She goes, "Thank you for your service," you know. So we're talking for a minute. She goes, "My son was in Iraq and he got hit by an IED and it killed him." And she goes, I said, "Oh, you know, I'm so sorry to hear that." You know, she lost her son because of an IED in Iraq. Dean Stevenson, Glasnost and Perestroika numbers free daily to USSR, allow Americans to complain to the Soviets about not liking the U.S. president. Yeah. Who remembers that? Glasnost and Perestroika, Mr. Gorbachev. I think he really tried to straighten out. He couldn't do it because he's grew up in. Oh, Kim's gonna make noise.
Tim was giving me a hard time for not working.
Oh, so now you're gonna work because people giving you a hard time about not working. Hey, yeah. Tim, Tavo says, ask for the rotary dial phone and ask for the $1 off. Pitt says, I have that book, Buff. My mom sent it to me. Same thing with me. My mom sent it to me. And Captain O'Grady signed it.
What they do is they put you on hold, and then eventually they hang up on you. Because they can't take it off your bill.
Pitt says, I have that book, but my mom sent it to me. And Captain O'Grady signed it at that very same Fleet Week on the USS Intrepid Museum. We carried Bush Sr.'s plane to that place from Florida. Huh. Very good. IED, isn't that some sort of contraceptive? Well, it's pretty extreme.
Sort of. Guess you could call it that. It could be.
Steve Stevenson goes, IUD. Jeez. Yep, you got it right. Granted, Chunk, it was years ago. I'm still on that database on something, so it keeps his nose clean. Mark Sauvé, I don't think the phone system is able to use rotary phones anymore. Neither do I. But the first push button phones, the first aftermarket ones, they weren't touch tone. You'd push the buttons and you'd hear it go. It'd be all the switches from the rotary. Can you hear that noise from Kim? Kim's over there with a saw, with a what do you call it? A saw that does this? Saber saw, I think. And Tim says later, the dog says it's time.
Okay, Tim, good night.
The dog clock. Yeah, Tim, thanks for being here. And then, I don't know if anybody can hear me over the noise. Luis says something in Spanish. I don't know what that is. Yeah, the first time Pitt saying IED. The first time I heard IED, it's like, what? Because I thought they said IED. But then it's, I figured out what it was. Pitt says noise canceling is mostly blocking out Kim's grinder. It sounds like she's, it just sounds like I'm in a can. Because when I talk, then I could see it going. It's she's making something out of wood, I think. I think that was what do you call that thing? Saber saw? The saw that has a little blade that goes up and down like this. Kind of like a handheld jigsaw. It's a saber saw, I think is what it's called. Very Kuda says an IED is a landmine. It's a improvised explosive device, and a lot of times they were set off with a wire or with a phone, and it's like homemade bombs. They were like landmines, yeah. Did I figure out? I figured out the hinges, but I haven't done anything yet. But I know exactly what to do. Kim, what did you make? Can you show us?
No.
A scroll saw. A scroll saw has an arm that goes out like this. It's an arm that goes out, and it's got a blade that goes like this, and so you can move stuff around. But I've broken scroll saws pretty easily. This is one that's handheld. Isn't that the one, Kim? Can you hold the saw up that you're using so we can see it? So everybody knows what you're talking about, what I'm talking about. You might be able to see her back there. I'm not even sure. I'm just going by the noise. Oh, it wasn't a saw at all. See, I'm wrong. It's a this thing is a shear. You see how this works? It's one of these things. Man, it sounded like you were. I thought you were using the saw. This thing's really getting dull, huh?
Yeah, it's done its time. Cutting too much stuff that's too thick for it. Been using it a couple of years. I feel like I got my money's worth. There's no.
Well, we've used that thing a lot.
I know.
I don't know if we can get. This is a cheap Chinese one. I don't know if we can get parts for it.
Yeah, they sell blades.
They sell blades for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it does still work pretty good.
Dean Stevens says a homemade bomb or destructive device constructed from non-military or repurposed. This sounds like an AI thing. Repurposed components designed to cause death, injury, or destruction, frequently used by terrorists, insurgents, and criminals. Pit. IEDs are toys or parts. Candy, road signs, bodies. What? Oh, entice somebody to touch them. The one my son hit, he was sitting on the passenger side of a Humvee, and he said it was a wire across the road. And he says he saw it just before they hit it, and it destroyed the vehicle, but they all got out of it. Yeah, I think Chicago Electric, I think, is an old Harbor Freight brand. They may still use that brand name. I'm not sure.
They still use it on that particular tool.
On this, Kim
saw one that was exactly the same.
Kim saw one. Exactly. Man, we went through the new Harbor Freight that's in downtown down in the way in the middle of Clarksville. That's a pretty nice store. It is really good. All right, I'm gonna try to get away from the how to make these devices.
Oh, guys, no. We'll get.
Yeah, let's not talk about this.
No, can't.
I mean, I'll talk about history of it. That somebody got hit by one, and years ago. But that's it. I don't want to talk about making them.
We can't discuss the construction of explosives or any kind of weapons.
Mike,
really.
And it says snip, snip, snip.
Snip, snip.
I think that's what this is. This thing it has two blades like this, and it has another blade that goes like this, and it shears off a curlicue of steel or aluminum, I suppose. I've never used this on aluminum.
That would work really good on aluminum.
Yeah, but it might scar the aluminum all up.
Probably.
Chicago Electric was financed till the late 90s when the name got bought by a Chinese Harbor Freight brand. Oh, I didn't think it was ever an American brand. My joke was I'm going to make some tools. Someday I'm going to manufacture tools, and I'm going to call them Beijing because they name all their tools after American cities. Yeah, there were big sheet metal tools called Birmingham. They were all Chinese. Kim has tin snips. Yeah, I think, what are you using? Using those little short?
Yeah.
The short ones. Man, I bought those and never used them. See, there's a Lowe's that I used to go into in that's kind of in the San Bernardino area off one of the interstate highways. It was kind of a halfway point for me going to Yuma. And I stopped there and used their bathroom. But then I felt bad. I was just using their bathroom, not buying anything. And I like tools. So I just walk into the tool section and I'd buy a tool. It was an excuse. Well, I used their bathroom. I should buy something. So I buy a tool. Well, I bought the snips. And they ended up in Yuma. And then they ended up here. And I never used them. And Kim came here and she loves those things. And I've used them a few times now, but I know she always used them. And they got real short jaws and kind of long handles. So you got a lot of mechanical with it. A lot of leverage. And they are pretty nice. And they're a good brand. They're not cheap stuff. They're what were they? Well, they might be made in China. Huh?
They're Stanley Fat Max.
Stanley Fat Max. Well, I don't really know where they're made, but they're pretty decent snips.
I don't know where they're made either. I just know that they're stable.
Buddy Califano says every time I go to Harbor Freight to buy one thing, I leave with 10. Yep. Oh, yeah. I was looking around Harbor Freight. Tim's like, don't buy everything. Don't be buying all this stuff. I'm just looking. And they got some new toolboxes that are pretty nice. The ones I hadn't seen yet. And, well, we went there and got some abrasives, the cutoff wheels. We just got a few things, Oh, and I got a new pair of welding gloves. Man, do I like those welding gloves. And they're in the bedroom. They're in my bedroom. My welding gloves are in the bedroom. I wore them down there one night because it was cold. My hands were cold, so I wore them home, and I haven't brought them back. I don't want to get them dirty. Give me all the pneumatic tools. See, we hardly ever buy pneumatic tools anymore because we don't want to hear that compressor running all the time. Exactly. And the electric stuff is so good. Man, the electric tools we have are...
It's very adequate.
Oh, so what are you making there, Kim? Let's see what you made.
This is going to go...
And nobody can see what you're doing.
Well, I can't see because I turned the camera off.
You turned the camera off.
It's not working very much.
Well, let's see. Bring it over here. We can show what you did. The thing. See what she did? She notched the shit out of that, so she curved
I
that.
gotta curve it a little bit, and I'm gonna. It's gonna go on the here. I'll show you.
Bedroom welding gloves. No sleep welding.
It
You know what I don't like about dreaming?
goes here. Can they see that?
Sorta.
It goes on the inner part of the sail.
Okay.
Fine.
So what I don't like about dreaming, about working, is I'll be dreaming that I'm cutting steel and welding and beating on stuff, and then I wake up and I got to do the work all over again because I just dreamt it. I didn't really get anything done.
Didn't get anything done. He does that all the time.
Granddad's Junk Buff, do you use flex core or hardwire in the MIG? Oh, it's MIG. It's got gas. Kim has a flex core machine or a machine we run flex core in, but
I haven't used it since I got here.
what happened was she was using a little bit, and I go, man, you got to try this. Use a MIG welder, with the gas. And she started doing that, and man, in no time she's welding just beautiful with no spattering or anything. I'm no longer in the screen, am I? Where am I? I don't see myself. Maybe I can. Oh yeah, I'm off the edge. So anyway.
Yeah, we don't use flux core. I've used flux core, but
so the flux
put it back to where it's supposed to be.
But if we have to go outside like some distance and weld something, yeah, we'd use the flux core because you don't want to take that whole thing with the tank of gas and everything out there. So yeah, of course. Brett Borg's here. Hey, good evening. What is this? The raging seas will always seep so high, go so low you creep. Wind blows in tropical heat. The drones, they seats. The squeaking door will. I don't know what all that is. Is that a song? It says, when I had a field service department in the aughts, paid for the extended warranties at Harbor Freight, and all my techs knew that they could wreck their grinders, welders, and porta powers. Man, I like porta powers. I had a porta power that lasted for years, like 20 years or something. It was a cheap Chinese one. Then I bought another one that was a little bit heftier, Chinese one. Right away, it's leaking. It's a piece of crap. It makes me mad. And I didn't buy it at Harbor Freight. I bought it at another local store that has that kind of stuff. So now I have a crappy one. I fixed a lot of cars with that porta power. Cars were, door jams were twisted around and stuff like that. And if you push and pull in the right places, you can twist door jams back. And I did a lot of stuff like that. I was working for a guy. He hired me, and he wanted me to do some work on SMT, surface mount technology, where they put surface mount circuit boards, they lay them out, and then they put them through an oven, and everything solders. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, his SMT machine, he bought it used, didn't work. So that's really what he hired me for, is to fix that machine. And it places has these big reels of components and place them all on the circuit boards. But anyway, so he hired me to fix that. But he also knew that I did some body work. And he had a car that was out next to his shop that was wrecked. One whole side was all torn up. And a door jamb was all twisted around. So it was a Toyota, and I went out there and popped all the inner panels off of it. Went out there with a porta power, and I'm straightening it. He comes out there, he gets all excited. He goes inside and he gets all the employees to come out and see what this guy's doing. He was so excited that I straightened that car out. But I used big long porta power runs from the back of the car with a bunch of wood, so it spread the load onto other parts. And it was really fun. It was one of the more fun jobs I did because I got it straightened out pretty nice. And then he had it for sale out from his shop, and a truck went off the road, big old semi-truck, and destroyed it like a week later. I was so proud of that job, and then it was gone. It says, in less than 5 minutes, the tools got replaced at Harbor Freight. I have had a couple of bad tools at Harbor Freight, and they've just Give me a new one. But when you're dreaming about working or practicing, you actually do it, yeah. Uh, Barracuda says, don't forget to turn off the tank when you're finished. Oh, yeah, you saw the video. You know we're using the gas. So, outdoor welding here is always flux core. Window is closed, one way or another. Yeah, I kind of get that idea from listening to you. Louis says, well, he's tired. He's going to bed. Okay, take care. Good night. Yeah. Oh, that's a piece of that white metal off that. That's that piece of steel I picked up in that guy's yard when we got the crossfire.
Yeah.
We were picking up this burned up crossfire, and I see this piece of metal there that's, I guess it was in it or something. I said, do you want this? He goes, you can have it if you want. And I took that piece of sheet metal. It's like, yeah, it's free sheet metal. And here we are.
Using it.
Using it. It's not the first time we've used it. It's a big piece of sheet metal. Free piece of sheet metal.
Free shit.
Anytime I can get free stuff.
Big thing. Big thing.
Man, did you hear Dallas and Shane talking last night on HRA? They were talking about this car you're working on.
Where they really?
Yeah, they went on and on talking about it. About they didn't know it was 2-door, 4-door, so they said, oh, it's a 4-door. Explained what it was. We're using the same dimensions that we got from Tavo. And so then they were like, oh, yeah, they looked at it. Shane heard us talking about it, but he was doing something else. Finally went and looked at it. He goes, man, that thing's turning out really good. It looks right, you know. And it's like, yeah, we used all the same dimensions from the Australian Ute. And they said they liked these taillights better on it because they fit the shape of the pickup bed, you know, because the other ones look like Barracuda taillights. And so he liked that. I think I'm going to like this. Well, I am liking it, but I would like it either way because I like the Australian ones that look like Barracuda taillights. But these are okay too.
That's cool that they were paying attention to.
Well, and Mexican Spec was in there because he told him that Dr. Art has an El Camino for sale.
It is.
Barracuda. I'm not going to read that, but everybody else can read it. And that thing's on there solid.
What is?
Oh, that square tube that comes back. I grabbed it and I was going to wiggle it around, but it was wiggling the whole car around. Always keeping it dignified. So, let's see.
Ecoing. You talking about Coleco.
Yeah, once I showed Kim how to Cleco, now she likes Clecos. It's nicer than using sheet metal screws, isn't it? Because it doesn't make big. It's late, but you can go blue just once. Mark Silvestris, I forget what live I joined last night, but a few people didn't like Tony or Art. Huh.
Yeah, they're controversial.
They're controversial sometimes. I guess that probably people don't like me either.
I mean,
Buddy Carfano, getting 4 to 6 inches of snow today. I hate winter. Man, it's getting warmer. You know, we're far enough south that it's starting to get warmer, which is pretty good.
well, tomorrow we're getting bad weather, but not 4 to 6 inches.
And Brett Borg has some. Kim, can you read? I don't know what that means. Brett Borg, right there. Honey file. I'm not sure what all that is.
Lots of chaos, derision, and disorder. I don't know. It's some type of poetry.
Some type of poetry.
I don't know if it's musical poetry or if it's just some type of. Poetry.
Oh, and then Barry Kuda says, you know what? You know what movie that's from, Dean?
JB's Little Shop doesn't like him. No, because he said.
No, JB's Little Shop is he really dislikes Tony.
Yeah, and Tony really earned it from him. He gave him a hard time.
Yeah, I don't want to get involved in the squabbles.
I don't know. I don't think people should talk bad about each other like that. I don't think it's necessary.
So Mark Sylvester says Lone Wrench. Oh, it's Mexican Spec says Lone Wrench Garage. Huh.
Who's Lone Wrench?
Lone Wrench.
Who doesn't like?
Yeah, I guess maybe that's where it was. They had the problem with Tony. I don't know. And then Pitt says the damn thing had low fuel pressure to the rail, so I replaced the fuel pump. I oriented the new fuel pump exactly the same direction as the old pump. Oh, this sounds like there's more to that.
Who's saying this?
Pitt. Pitt's nice. Now, I found out something amazing the other day, but my town did actually get snow, and some residents still living here saw it. So not that long ago. Yeah, what's the latitude where you are? I guess I know that right off the top of my head, but I don't. Because I know right about where you are in Australia, but I don't know the latitude. And then Dr. Joe's here. He says we only have 2 to 2.5 months of winter left. You know what? I think we have about 2 weeks left, if that. I am feeling so good because it's warm out there right now. It's supposed to get down cold at night for the next couple of nights, but then we're right back out of it. So. Then Mexican Spec says, Dr. Phil, somebody needs to teach that groundhog a lesson. I always like Groundhog Day because it's February 2nd, and the worst possible case is only 6 more weeks of winter. Well, shit, that's the middle of March. I mean, I could deal with that if I had to, but usually it's less than that down here. Okay, Tavo, you're at 33 degrees. That's what I was in Yuma. That's about what we were in Yuma, 33 degrees. So, only we were north, but I mean, it's the same distance from the equator. That's probably pretty nice weather. I know I like warm weather, or a lot of people would say hot weather. So yeah, I get that weather. I understand it. Man. Yeah, we were 33 degrees. I think we were right on the Mexican border. So, Barry Kuda says he's on 45 south. See, I know New Zealand is much further from the equator. Yeah, 45 degrees. Man, that's like way north of us. Yeah. Only a year south, but same idea. Distance from the equator. Okay, Pitt says, then suddenly it didn't start one night with only 220-ish miles showing on the tank, because even the new pump sender only showed max quarter tank. Wind English says 37 here. 37. Is that degrees north? That doesn't seem right. Is that right? No, it can't be. 37 degrees? I'm not sure. Oh, that kind of degrees. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Wendy.
Don't play dumb.
I'm playing dumb. Well, I know about where Wendy lives. I know real close to where Wendy lives. So that's real close to the Piper Museum, place I want to go. But I thought that was further north than 37 degrees. I don't know now. I don't know. Because the place I go by 45 degrees all the time. Or I used to on the way to Maryland, which I think is further south than she is.
Yeah.
Kim just put the compressor up. It's a little noisy compressor. She put it outside. Oh, go near the East Coast and much higher elevation. It snows every year. I'm only at 1,000 feet above sea level. Yeah, here we're about. Here I think we're about 600 feet above sea level. Yeah, Wendy says the Piper plant. Yeah, there's two things. There's a Piper plant and there's a Piper museum. It says, well, I bought another pump sender assembly, but actually paid attention to what's in the tank. 2 semicircles halfway up the tank in less than a gallon. Okay, and very good. It says the top of New Zealand, which is, I guess, the northern tip, is 34 degrees south. See, now that's still further south than Tavo is. I was young. I always thought about New Zealand being like kind of east of Australia, but it's quite a bit southeast. It's southeast by a lot. What's that, Kim?
East of Omaha.
East of Omaha. Where was that place you went to the museum? That Air Force museum you went to, Kim? Was that in Nebraska or somewhere? I remember you sent me pictures. Dr. Dose says 1,600 feet above sea level here, and then we have a small 1,000-foot mountain where they ski. 1,000 foot above the 1,600 foot. Man. Yeah, I don't like.
Hey, would you check to make sure this comes on? This camera.
It's on.
Okay, you can put it back to you for a minute till the air compressor's done.
I see you got a. You're gonna rivet that on. I want to see what you're.
You're gonna rivet it on because you're the riveter.
Okay, I want to.
You're Rosie.
Bruce Culture says 50 degrees here. You're in. Are you in North Dakota or Canada? I'm trying to remember which. Daniel Morrissey's in Petaluma. Tomorrow morning it will be 30, 35 degrees in the morning. Temperature. It says I fugged up. The original pump center was oriented to drive the float into the side of the tank. I missed it.
Oh crap!
I'm anti-advanced. I hate me. There's nothing wrong with the pump. Oh man, do you still have the original? I don't know if I like that. How are you gonna finish that?
Short string.
Huh?
Short string. I want a radius on the inside anyways. Well, I have to put a sail panel there.
Oh, that's a thing to hold the sail panel. Oh, okay, that's not the sail panel. That's a holder for the sail.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have rivets.
I was about to bring the rivets.
Oh, you got a whole. You got a
You
lot.
walked away
You
from
got a
the
whole
camera.
box of rivets.
You walked away from the camera.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm over here
It's okay. I
doing work.
here.
You're going to have to swap cameras. We switched or something. I don't know. Sometimes I got to do some work. Can't let you do all of it.
Nephew reset the trip odometer with only half a tank. Oh, man. That'll get you every time. Bruce says Alberta yesterday was 30 below zero.
Is that where he is, in Alberta?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm glad I don't live up north anymore. Heat is easy to deal with. Cold is not easy to deal with. You got the camera on what I'm doing, though.
I will in a minute, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if we can focus.
Yeah, I noticed it wasn't quick. Well, look what I've done. Yep. The impressor to impress us. She put these clicos in there. I'm going to put rivets in there. I guess this is like a holder for the sail panel, the inner part of the sail panel.
If you turn around to read, they can see you could be looking right at them. So.
Okay, well, I'm not paying attention to chat right now. I will look in later. Right now, I need to just make some rivet down. Yeah, we don't have that powered these things yet.
You guys get to see. Wait, you got locked out? Oh no.
Oh, Kim, I'm having trouble with this. My hand's not strong enough to do this. You can put that on there. Strong.
It's got so many PSIs.
What PSI?
PSIs. Pitt says the gas gauge works now, as does the fuel pump, but as I tried to pry the rear sliding glass out of its track, it exploded. Ah! I'm so sorry, Pitt. That stinks. Man.
Isn't working on cars.
No.
I'd rather do this kind of stuff than repair stuff that's working.
So now the snow is falling right in there, and I don't care. I removed all the what do they call it when words add color?
Words add color.
Yeah, the colorful words.
Oh, those kind of words.
Yeah. Gary Kuda says, even though it's 45 degrees here, the winters aren't very harsh. We call 5 Celsius cold. Not many frosts now. Summer is hot, often 38 degrees Celsius. And it used to be hotter. Ugh. 111 sounds hot. It doesn't get that hot here. Or not where I'm from.
I don't think it's ever been. That, like in Yuma?
Yeah, but the humidity gets up there here.
In Yuma, 111 was not very warm for the summer. Oh, Kim, I got to take you out there in the summer sometime just so you can experience it.
It sounds lovely.
Find out what 122 degrees is not unusual, which is 50 C. And a lot of people think 50 C is kind of hot.
Good night, Wendy. Wendy's got to go to bed.
Okay, I've got this here, Kim. I don't know what.
Pitt says, let us laugh at my folly. Pitt, my pickup truck has a busted slider window too, so you're not the first person. I've got a piece of plexiglass, but it's not, that window is not flat, so the plexiglass doesn't really line up. But that's
okay.
He's done already. Man, I set you up with all that work. I thought you were going to be working for hours. He's already done. He's like, is that all you got?
You can swap hands. Yeah.
He says, is that all you got? He's done. All right, guys. Buff Del Campo finished all the work. I tried to give him something to do. He just whooped right on through it. So that's it.
Mark Sauvé, I know delivering phone books out in minus 50 C was freaking cold. Man, back in the days when you used to deliver phone books, anybody remember phone books? Man, I kind of miss them. Because now, even online, it's hard to find just like somebody's phone number, you know? So it's just about impossible. Very good. Says that you is looking good. It's getting there. It's getting there.
We got to get our head back in it.
We the cold came and we just abandoned the shop for about 3 weeks, and now we're getting get back in it and get it done. That cold knocked the crap out of us.
We recuperated our pile of combustible material for the stove, and I mean, like today it was 70 degrees. So yeah, we're able to work our way back into some of this stuff. Pitt says he's going to take the truck to the local glass company for a new windshield, and that rear sliding glass will be a minority of the expense. Okay. I think the only way to get one of those around here is to go to the junkyard.
Yeah, they don't have any junkyards anymore. What do you got? I guess you got to go to Nashville?
Yeah, for a 95 pickup truck, they'll have parts sitting around one of the... Yeah, Nashville. I got to go all the way to Nashville, which is not that big.
Yeah, but I mean, there were a couple of wrecking yards here, and then there was one, and now there's none.
The property here was too valuable. People got rid of all the junk and then built new houses. You know, junkyard's got to be somewhere where there's not high value, and all the property is valuable everywhere. It's crazy. Bruce says he still gets phone books. Still gets
phone books.
I already told him that we're done. Do you want to say goodbye? We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're 2 hours and 7 minutes here. So, oh no, and we came in early, so it's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were up here for more than 2 hours. Okay.
And
so I'll just like real soon say goodnight.
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. I'm awarding everybody who's still here 3 points for sticking around. You made it to the end.
Awarding.
It's
a new word. Awarding.
It's Thursday, so we'll be back on Saturday night. Hopefully, we'll still be in the shop.
It'll be cold. It's going to be cold Saturday, but I don't think it's going to be that. It's not going to be as cold as it was. So we should be able to keep the shop warmed up.
We'll put up an announcement.
But if it's not, we'll be in the studio.
We usually start at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then Mexican Spec, I believe Mexican Spec will be on.
Yeah, Mexican
Saturday afternoon at 2.
Are you
Mountain time?
2 Mountain time?
That's what it's been. Yeah.
Okay, there it is. He put it up there.
He's stuck his plug in, so guys, look for that.
Hey, put up if you want, you're welcome to put up a link to your channel so that you know. I know you don't have
no Mexican Spec
channel.
Yeah, but
at least you can click on it. At least you can click on it.
All right,
instead of having a search for it.
Thanks, everybody. We will
Good night.
See you next time.